It's important for all of us to understand that our resources today are humans and machines, and the machines will continuously get better. Machines do things, humans do things, some things the humans do with the machines, and understanding what we have available to us in terms of resources, same thing with humans, and then where do we want our machines to help our humans, and vice versa, where the humans can sometimes help the machine in terms of processing something along the full interaction or customer journey. We need to learn how to manage all of that. And we also need to always keep in mind we are in charge of the machine.
I've been talking about this for quite some time. I'll probably link to an article that I wrote last year sometime about how the workplace dynamics are constantly changing. That's almost Houdini in these. Like that's a magic trick, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode with none other than the amazing all-time star, right? Repeat guester Shafiq. Shafiq, thank you so much for being our repeat guest. I'm super passionate about this topic, and I know that you are as well. You already know this because you have your copy, but we are reading through WFM Go Beyond this year. Right. And we are, yay! Right. If you don't have your copy, go to WFMGoBeyond.com. Okay. And grab your copy. Section 1 of the book is very tactical, where we talk about the tactical things. But section 2 is about strategy, design. How do we get the best customer, employee, business profitability? And so one of the big topics, Shafiq, that has been a big conversation is, hey, AI. We've been talking about that for like the last 2 or 3 years. And we've been hearing you can't even have a conversation in contact center without talking about AI. Before, our workforce consisted of humans. That's what it consisted of. Humans and machines, pretty much, right? With revolution, that age, we ushered in machines. And so we had humans and machines working together. But now in this digital age, we have humans, machines, robotics, AI, right? And so our workforce and our workplace dynamics are ever shifting and changing rapidly. When we think about our workforce, we're thinking about our resources. Humans are a resource, machines are a resource, AI is a resource, robotics are a resource, and the whole function, the entire discipline of workforce planning is about ensuring you have the right resources in the right place at the right time to serve the demand that your customer produces. So you're a leader in this space. And if you had to give a piece of advice to a newbie or a leader about the ever-changing dynamics of the workplace, right?
Yep.
What would that piece of advice be?
The main big thing is always learn about technology, learn about your technology environment within your organization, and dig deep enough to understand how it functions and where opportunities lie in terms of specific advice there for workforce management leaders and workforce analysts. The traditional framework is you're having these sessions and meetings with the contact center leaders and asking them for information which goes into your assumption about how you're going to forecast for the 3 months, 6 months, and year. Instead of going that traditional route of asking for the leaders to give you assumptions, you as the workforce analyst, you as the workforce management leader need to have an understanding of overall where the organization is going and start building your own assumptions, because those leaders oftentimes they're going to tell you, well, this is what we know, but they're not going to tell you what they don't know at that point, which is 2 months later they're going to launch this initiative and it's going to change this or change that. If as a WFM leader you see that the goal is decrease interactions that make it to the humans and make your humans more efficient, the continuous assumption should be that your contact center resources will continuously get more efficient and the number of inquiries coming your way would, in theory, go down, unless of course the business keeps growing, and then it's changing even though the volume may stay the same or grow. So as a WFM leader, you need to make sure that you are actually involved and fully understanding of what those contact center leaders want to do or what they may do, instead of just asking them for tell us information that we can put into our assumptions for the forecast. Because I've done that work as a workforce analyst. I've done it as a WFM leader. And I can tell you that they tell you stuff today, 2 months later, it may no longer be relevant. A month later, a new technology may come in that starts changing things. And technology is such a part of everything that we do today and everything that we will do tomorrow. You can't wait to be in a technology role to be focused on technology. Within any role that you're in, you need to fully be immersed in the technology environment and understand it well, because that will help you help the organization and it will help you within your role.
Yes, Shafiq, come
Uh,
on. Where's the offering plate? We need to. You just came in here and preached about this thing. You hear me? Like, that is so good, because I'm always talking about how important it is. I've been saying this for some time about how workforce leaders, I believe, will become business advisors. It's no longer them being task takers. And like you said, asking for the business to tell me, hey, what are the assumptions, this, and a third. No, I need to be dialed in as a workforce leader. I need to be dialed into what your strategy is. What are your goals? What are the outcomes? What are you trying to, as a business, accomplish? And as I understand that, as I understand who your customer is and what the demand of that customer is and how you're wanting to grow strategically, like I'm always baffled. I'll ask leaders, WFM leaders, and even operations leaders many times, hey, what is the strategic, like what's the executive strategic direction of the organization? And I get crickets. You see how quiet it is? That's like, I'm like,
yeah.
wait. So
If
you're
you guys
just
don't know
doing,
it, how are we going to move forward? Yep.
like, how are you going to move forward? How are you going to advise and be a value add
Yeah.
to the organization? I think many times as employees, we believe that my job is just to do the thing that was assigned to me. Right. And while that may very well be the case, I fundamentally, and I don't know if this is because I'm an entrepreneur at heart, but I believe in adding value and always diving in to understand what is the goal behind what you're trying to accomplish? Why are you trying to accomplish what you're doing? And if I can tap that, if I can tap into that, I can broaden I can create what I want to create because I'm tapped right into your goal. And so I believe that workforce roles will become more business advisory, more strategic in nature, because as workforce leaders begin to say to the executive leadership, hey, what's your vision? What's your heart? How do you want to grow the business? What markets? What is the customer? What are we trying to do? Then we can begin to think more holistically about the business and not just be task takers. We can be business advisors, right? We're not just taking the task of, you're expecting 50,000 or you're expecting 1.6 million calls this year. If we break this up, then it's going to be this every month and it's going to be this many people. That's a calculator,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
That I mean, not to be offensive, right? Because this is what I do, right? So I understand that that's where we want to remain, but that's a calculator. It's math, right? So if you are decent at math and you have a great calculator, great system that you can put the inputs of 1.6 million average handle time is this. If you understand like the components of it, it's math. It's a calculator.
And the
The
machine can help
value
with that. Yeah.
the value add, the bigger value add, right? And some of the calculators need to get better. I'm just saying, but some of the calculators need to get better. But I digress, right? But the bigger value add is really understanding what to put in the calculator. The bigger value add
Yep.
is understanding where is the organization going and how do I reduce what needs to be put in the calculator, right? How do I become more efficient? That's the bigger value add to an executive. And when we think about career pathing, when we think about where we're going in our careers as workforce leaders, I think we have to think more strategically, which is the main reason I wrote WFM Go Beyond, right? I wanted us to go beyond the tactics and push into the strategy. I wanted us to think about the business more holistically. I wanted operations and businesses to understand the value that they have sitting right in front of them inside of workforce planners. But I think both sides of the coin have to do a better job, right? I think operations has to understand the value of workforce and what they have and tap it a little bit better. And then I think workforce planners and workforce leaders, we have to begin to think more strategically and go beyond just a tactical side of what we do. That's my soapbox, and you just summarized that so amazingly well when you talked about, again, I absolutely love exactly what you said about these are some of the things that workforce leaders should begin to think about, not just asking the business about the assumptions, but asking them, what's the goal, and aligning your strategy. That's how we design, we align our strategy to the overall goal of the business.
We are no longer imagine.
If you had to leave the people with something, right, Shafiq, what would be your final closing thought?
Final closing thoughts. So many in mind, but I mean, you've covered most of it there, Juanita. I think, and you started the episode with it. We are no longer imagine just humans. We imagine humans and machines. Machines do things. Humans do things. Some things the humans do with the machines, and understanding what we have available to us in terms of resources, what those machines are, what they do, how do those machines operate. Same thing with humans. Where do we want our humans to be? With what skill, at what time, and how do we want our humans to operate? And then where do we want our machines to help our humans? And vice versa, where the humans can sometimes help the machine in terms of processing something along the full interaction or customer journey. It's important for all of us to understand that our resources today are humans and machines, and the machines will continuously get better. So, going with that assumption, we need to learn how to manage all of that. And we also need to always keep in mind we are in charge of the machines. We decide how the machines operate. We decide where we want to get the most value out of those machines. And the humans will always be there. So, working with resources alongside the humans and the machines is the now, is the future. And that is the most important point, I guess, that I would like people to get away with if that's their focus and if they want to help contact centers operate more efficiently and customers get better service from companies.
Hey guys, listen. So y'all know I'm a data nerd, and 88% of you guys that are watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So if you are finding value in this content, can I ask you to do me a favor? Could you subscribe to our channel? What this allows us to do is to continue to keep adding value, bringing insights and the latest in trends around customer experience, employee experience, business profitability, workforce management. Thank you so much for being here. You are truly valued. We appreciate if you would subscribe and follow us for more information. But I think a conversation that is by epic proportion missing from the conversation is, how do we now manage this new workforce? How do we now empower this new workforce? And by workforce, I don't mean just the humans. How do we leverage our new workforce and our new resources when we're talking about AI and machines and robotics and our human resources? How do we do that? How do we create a WFM by design? I want to talk about what are some of the challenges you're seeing? What are some of the big myths you see around workforce and adopting AI into the dynamics? And then what are some of the advantages or tips or advice that you can give?
So, definitely a loaded question there. In terms of challenges, they go hand in hand with the opportunities that companies want to pursue when it comes to technology, AI, workforce management, and the overall management of an effective contact center and an effective front end, whether it's the website, the app, anything that customers interact with. So I'll kind of link the opportunities and the challenges there. The opportunities that we all want to follow is how can we decrease or eliminate the need of our customers to come to the contact center because they need help, because they want to buy, because of whatever it is that they want. In order to do that, you could go directly to the root cause and fix the actual thing that is causing them to realize, okay, I need to speak to a human right now or I need help. And if they don't have that need, then they won't even do anything to get to you. And
Mm-hmm.
that could be as front end as Google, where if they go and Google search something, if it gives them the answer they want, or gives them the link to go to do whatever they need to do very easily, then there's no need for customers to require support that then you want to put all of that humans and technology behind. If you don't go to the root cause or you can't fix the root cause directly, then you go to, okay, people have decided they want to reach us. Now, how do we manage all of that? There's the technology in the front end, there's the technology in the back end, and there's the humans in the contact center. The opportunity there is how can we decrease as much as possible that goes to the humans from the customers who decided they need help. With that, the challenges come. Can you build self-service that is good enough and easy enough for customers to do it themselves without requiring human support? So the challenges come with building those things right that don't break and that are easy and that do the job where customers feel like I got my answers, I was able to buy, I was able to fix my problem, whatever it is. I don't need to speak to a human. There. The opportunities that we all want to follow is how can we decrease or eliminate the need of our customers to come to the contact center because they need help, because they want to buy, because of whatever it is that they want. In order to do that, you could go directly to the root cause and fix the actual thing that is causing them to realize, okay, I need to speak to a human right now or I need help. And if they don't have that need, then they won't even do anything to get to you. And
Mm-hmm.
that could be as front end as Google, where if they go and Google search something, if it gives them the answer they want, or gives them the link to go to do whatever they need to do very easily, then there's no need for customers to require support that then you want to put all of that humans and technology behind. If you don't go to the root cause or you can't fix the root cause directly, then you go to, okay, people have decided they want to reach us. Now, how do we manage all of that? There's the technology in the front end, there's the technology in the back end, and there's the humans in the contact center. The opportunity there is how can we decrease as much as possible that goes to the humans from the customers who decided they need help. With that, the challenges come. Can you build self-service that is good enough and easy enough for customers to do it themselves without requiring human support? So the challenges come with building those things right that don't break and that are easy and that do the job where customers feel like I got my answers, I was able to buy, I was able to fix my problem, whatever it is. I don't need to speak to a human. If you can't do that, or if there's a chunk of those people that don't uh, get their resolutions there, then the opportunity is okay, we have all this workforce within our organization. How can we make their job easy and fast so when they are supporting our customers, we only need 100 of them instead of 1,000 of them? And with that is the technology of better tools that they can use, better assistance, all of the stuff that comes with that. The challenge with that is making it work well, making it connect to the front end that I mentioned earlier, and making it actually useful and impactful for the contact center reps, the managers, and the overall operation. So all these opportunities and challenges are linked, and the challenges are not easy to solve. They're big puzzles, especially when you want to connect everything. And oftentimes, the big challenge for especially larger organizations is having a stack of tools between the front end and the back end that are not 100% integrated, that don't connect well, where the data flow is not very good. And then you end up having to, when you go back to the workforce that you mentioned, is requiring all these technology resources, people that understand technology, that go into it, troubleshoot it, fix it, build these integrations, additional customization, which ends up being a bigger Frankenstein, a working Frankenstein, but still a Frankenstein of a technology environment to make things work. So that's, I think, is the big challenge once you look at all the opportunities and all of the challenges linked to those specific opportunities.
I mean, said so perfectly, right? We have what you immediately made me think of as you kind of walk through these things is we have a framework here at SRC, and we call it our A3 framework when it comes to AI, implementing and adopting AI in real life, right? In real life, like not on the demo stage, what we be seeing at
Yep.
conferences, but actually in real life organizations. And that A3 framework, you probably read about this in the book, or you've heard me talk about this probably before. The A3 framework is leveraging AI to alleviate, assist, and automate. Right. And so when we're thinking about our workforce now, how our workforce changes, right? Remember, workforce is not just people. We have to stop saying that. Oh, have the right people in the right, no, have the right resources. And so as AI becomes more a part of the conversation, we have to think about what kind of person, right? What kind of AI do I need? Right? Just like you hire a salesperson, you hire a service person, you hire somebody for chat, you're looking for a certain type of resource. The same way we have to think about AI, we're looking for a certain type of AI. And that AI skill set is going to be either to alleviate, it's going to be to assist, or it's going to be to automate. And sometimes you have an AI that's multi-skilled, right?
Yep.
Right. Just like we have agents, humans that are multi-skilled. Oh, they take chat, they take service, they take this call, right? They're multi-skilled. Well, your AI is multi-skilled as well. It can be. And so when we are thinking about our AI workforce, we have to begin to think, what type of skill do I need? I need this AI to alleviate volume. When the interaction comes in, it's created in a way that is so good, right, that it deflects the call in the first place. It never even makes it to an agent. All right. Then we have AI that has a skill set to where it can assist, right? This is giving I like to call just in time information, just in time learning to agents. Screen pops, is listening to the call, is recognizing what's happening, and is guiding the agent and the human on where the right answer is. This is your AI to assist skill set. And then you have your AI to automate, where, hey, you reviewed as an organization a process, you've reviewed a bottleneck, and you said, oh, this is how I can make this process better. So let me leverage this AI that can automatically handle this workflow, right? To say, oh, okay, let
Yep.
me cancel the order. And when the order is canceled, it automatically issues a refund so that it takes a human out the loop in the first place, right? And so you have these three buckets, AI, or these three skill sets of AI to alleviate, AI to assist, and AI to automate. And we have to view this in the same lens of how we view humans with skill sets in the contact center. And one that you mentioned that I absolutely love was actually at the very beginning, where you talked about how the customer journey begins many times on Google. Well, that's deflection from the start, right? Like
Yep.
it doesn't even make it to AI to alleviate because it was deflected from the start, because you're, as an organization, putting out so much content and so much information and so much resource that serves in and of itself as a resource in your organization. And so I think that that is so key. And you talked about the challenges, right? Like, if we begin to do these things, right, this is what it looks like as far as having this Frankenstack, right? And this is what it looks like when we begin to start to think about how our workforce shifts from 30% or 100% human to 30% human and 70% AI, because AI has the same skill set as what some of the humans would have been doing. Right. And so
Yep.
I think that that's super important, that as workforce leaders, right, we begin to think about AI as our workforce, humans as our workforce, machines and robotics as a part of
Yep.
our workforce. Thank you so, so much for being a guest on our show this week. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
Thanks, Juanita, for having me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm always open to connecting with people. Anybody who's interested in contact center operations, technology, AI, sales, support, those are the topics that are involved.
Absolutely. Definitely, definitely will.
Thank you.
How epic of an episode. Like, absolutely chef's kiss. I don't even have nothing to add. Like, I don't have nothing to add to that. Y'all know normally I do a little recap, but Shafiq came in here, preached, passed the offering plate, and did all the things. So I don't have nothing to add, except for, if you don't have your book, okay? If you don't have your book, go to wfmgobeyond.com, grab your book, because we're continuing the conversation around how to do the tactical, which is section 1, but also how do you go beyond? How do you go beyond the tactics and push into strategy and add value to an organization, and how do organizations get the most out of their workforce leadership team? Until next time, guys, you already know what to do. Go be great and let's make impact. See you soon.